You're listening to Unjiggered, a bartender podcast where we interview highly successful bartenders about their careers, lives, and the passion of bartending. This week we caught up with Jamie Rhind, the bar operations manager of Bamboo Bar and the beverage manager of the Mandarin Oriental Bangkok. He gave us a deep dive into how he started in the industry and his move to being the leading man in one of the world's most famous bars. With this podcast, we want to peel back the mask and discover just how the greats really became the greats. So sit back and enjoy.
Hi, I'm Jamie Rhind, and I'm the beverage manager of the Mandarin Oriental Hotel in Bangkok, and also the bar operations manager of the Bamboo Bar.
Thank you very much for finding the time to chit-chat with me. I hope you had a good time in Singapore.
Oh, so far so good. Surviving. Yeah.
We're right at the back of 50 Best Asia. And first of all, congratulations for climbing one extra spot.
Yeah, thank you very much.
One spot a year, and I'm sure you...
Yeah, slowly. I still get the bonus then. No,
How do you feel? Was it a good achievement? Happy?
Yeah, no, I think this year, obviously last year was very good at being number 9. So the goal this year was just to be at least, for me anyway, number 9, at least again. And then any improvement was great. So to get that one spot, it might not seem a lot, but to myself and the team was amazing. Yeah.
So first of all, you don't sound like a person from Thailand. So where are you from originally?
I'm from a small town called Ipswich, which a few people in the industry know and like to make fun of. It's a small sort of countryside town, not far from London. It's about 1 hour drive from London, but it's in the countryside. Yeah, it's a pretty cool place to get away from the craziness of London or Bangkok now for me. So, and then moved to London after that. And then now I find myself in Bangkok.
I also come from a very small town. And like, to be honest, when you are young, like in your 20s, you think, oh my God, I can't
wait to get out.
Yeah. But then the older you get, I guess, the more you actually enjoy it.
Definitely.
So tell us, how did you get into hospitality?
To be honest, when I was 17, I joined a restaurant in a hotel purely because my friend worked there. You know, back in those days, you just want to have fun when you work, which is still the case now, but still that was the main reason. And started off as a waiter in a restaurant. And then at 18, you know, as the normal story goes for bartenders, you get chucked behind the bar. And for me, it was behind the bar, especially when it wasn't busy. At 18, you're going to like clubs or whatever, going crazy, and you're looking at menus, and there's lots of things which you see and you don't know what it is, but now you have the chance to sort of read the labels and try some as well. So that was the interesting thing for me. And then I decided to go on a bar course, which was good fun. It was great foundations, and the mentor there, Vince, he helped me a lot to get the fundamentals of bartending. And
how was this bar course? Like
London, it's called a London Bar School. It's been going quite a few years. I actually taught there for a bit. Started off more for a little bit of flair and more for high-speed bars, you know, places like Be At One in London and stuff like that. But now I think he's moving more to the classic side of things. So, yeah, to be honest, it's great foundations, but you know, everyone has their own way of doing it. So, and that's obviously his way. So great foundations and a great insight to cocktail making. But obviously when you go to different bars, they have their own way as well. So
would you recommend it to junior bartenders?
Yeah, of course, definitely is to get the basics, a little bit of history, and more important, the classic cocktails. Is great because I think sometimes now in modern bartending, we seem to forget the classic cocktails. We go straight for the crazy stuff. We forget the classics. So no, it's a good sort of foundation for bartending. So definitely recommend it for young bartenders if they want to get that first step.
Which one was your first proper bar job?
Artisan.
Yeah? Was your...
Yeah, well, I mean, like I worked in this restaurant when I was 17 till I was 20. And yeah, funny story. I wanted to get out of it, which like we said, you know, as the case is, living in small towns, you just want to get out. And I quit my job without anything lined up, which was stupid. I don't recommend that to anyone. So I think it was two months I was looking for places, and I nearly worked in a North London pub, you know. And
what do you mean nearly?
Well, they offered me the job verbally after the trial, and after 2 weeks I thought, you know, they haven't got back to me. Shall I say something? Shall I ring them or anything? And something in my head told me, nah, don't worry. And yeah, what a story that would have been. Could have been very, very different. And then I got 2 job offers at the same time after 2 months. I got one from the Langham Hotel, the Artisan, and one from Hicks Bar, the new one, which was opening up in Belgravia.
Ah, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Just opened 1 month, and again, stupid 20-year-old me was like, oh, who's paying more? So I actually went for Hicks. And then because they had only opened 1 month, they then turned around to me after 1 month and said, oh, listen, I know you're supposed to be starting next week, but the bar has not been as busy as we thought. So unfortunately, we have to withdraw the offer. So I said, oh. So I had to, take the offer from this bar called Artisan, which was such a shame. Such a shame.
Who would have thought
Yeah,
that?
exactly. But yeah, I believe in fate. Trust me. Because it could have been very different on two fronts. But yeah, so I started at the Artisan.
So what year was this?
This was 2012. Yeah.
Okay, so very early Artisan.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We were number 3 in the world that year. And yeah, like I said, I had zero experience when you look at it.
But did you know what you were getting into? Like, did you do some research? Or?
No, I mean, I was a little bit stupid, honestly. Like, I just remember looking at the website thinking, wow, this is fancy. This is incredible if I get a job here. I didn't look in the background, and then you start to work there and you just realize the stuff that goes on behind the doors is incredible. But I embraced it. I still wanted to learn, and it was a massive learning curve, especially the first year. And then we got to number 1, and then the pressure really starts. But yeah, I mean, incredible experience.
So talk to us a little bit about how the actual Artisan worked. When you joined there, what was your position exactly?
The position they offered me was, half my time barback, half my time waiter. But they actually liked me more on the floor. So I actually started full-time on the floor, like just a waiter. And yeah, I became, let's say, reliable on the floor. So I done quite well there. But, Alex and the team, they realized I had a passion for bar. And, due to situations when people are ill or whatever, I stepped behind the bar, and I always helped at the end, with the stock and stuff. They realized I had some potential as well. So I can count on one hand how many proper shifts I'd done behind the bar, bartending anyway. But, I was bar back a fair bit for them. So I just soaked up everything. And then when it was time to go to Bangkok, I had a chance to sort of let it all out and show what I could do.
So being a part of this very high-performing team, right? What was the pressure like? Because you got nominated number 1, and then you stayed number 1 for, what was it, 4 years in a row?
4 years.
How did the team operate? And was this something that you had as a goal, or was it something that...
Yeah, I mean, it was just to be the best. And I mean, I can really only speak for myself, but I think it was the same for everyone else. It was just a passion to be the best was so intense. It was kind of like you couldn't be anything less. You had to be the best. And that was everyone's goal. And I think when you have a team of 15, 20 people all wanting that same goal, that was the end result. And obviously the brains we had behind the bar as well with Alex, Simone and Roman and the guys was just incredible as well. So it was just a perfect sort of mixture of people. Yeah, just everyone pushing each other, a lot of fights and whatever, we're falling out, but then we realized, we're all trying to, help each other, and I wouldn't have it any other way. It was amazing.
What was your best memory of the Artisan times?
The after parties after 50 Best. Yeah, I had a different role after 50 Best. I had a different role. I switched from waiter to just the Magnum guy. It was either Befarovka or something like that. I just remember just going around and I was like doing the shots. It was amazing. And I think it's just the relief after that as well. It's just everyone having an amazing time and everyone's so happy for each other. It was great.
Can you tell us what happened when the Artisan team finished? Or... if not, it's fine. Or
yeah, I won't go into... I mean, we all had our goals away from Artisan, let's say. Like for me personally, the thing is when you have a team which is performing to that level, and like I say, it was such a great place to work. No one leaves. So I wanted to progress in my career, and no one was leaving above me, So I had my own personal goals to go up in my career. And I think everyone had their own thing, Alex and Simone obviously wanted to open a bar and stuff like this. So basically when it was time, yeah, we all sort of went around together, and it was amazing, like I think it was special for the guys as well. Because I remember Simone coming up to me and saying, okay, I think it's time. And again, I didn't learn from before. Without anything lined up, I told him there and then, I said, okay, I'm going with you. And, 9 or 10 other people said the same thing to him and Alex. So that's why we all left at the same time. It just shows what a tight unit we were, people without jobs lined up, but they just said, okay, we'll go with you, So yeah, it was great. And we're all different parts of the world now, which is fantastic. And I think they can be very proud of what everyone else has achieved as well, because it's down to them as well, what we've achieved around the globe. So,
I mean, it's still a great bar, and now isn't there a lot of change?
Like we said the other day, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing a fantastic job. Yeah. And I think, however, I think that specific Artisan was one of those bars that really defined an era of bars, right?
I think it was you. I was saying to the other day, like Alex and Simone, that you would never stop thinking, and the things they came up with was just ridiculous. It just took bartending to a different level, I think. And yeah, they're obviously not the only ones, but they were one of the ones to help bring it to that level. So,
are they still in touch?
Of course, yeah. I need to have their words of wisdom every now and again, and it was great. Alex came down. Actually, spent Christmas a couple of years ago with him and Monica when they went to Thailand for Christmas. We went down to see them. Simone was over not so long ago, and obviously Roman, I saw him the other night. Here he's a little bit closer, which is great. And the guys in Sydney as well, be seeing them very soon as well. So still definitely keep in touch. Yeah.
What happened after that? Because it must have been quite a bit of a struggle, right? I mean, did you just feel like, okay, I need a massive holiday for myself?
Yeah, I definitely did. I took a Christmas, my first Christmas with my family for a long time. Actually ended up taking about 6 months off. Just moved back to Ipswich. I just got out of London, moved back to Ipswich. And I think, again, I thought it was going to be a little bit easier to get something afterwards. But it was actually quite difficult because I think a lot of people were not scared, but they, to have someone from the Artisan come in, it was, I don't know what they thought would come with it. So there was a few offers, one from Canada. I was speaking to some people in South Africa, Australia, obviously, and Hong Kong. But Bangkok really stood out for me. It's a raw, well, at the time it was a raw city, and in London, so much going on. And I felt like I could make a difference in Bangkok, not just help one bar, but help a community as well with what I've experienced in the Artisan. So was super happy to take the job there. And it's been amazing, absolutely amazing. The city itself has evolved in that 3 years as well. So.
Was London off the table?
Yeah.
Why was that?
My current girlfriend will not like this, but my girlfriend at the time, she wanted to leave London. She'd been there for 8 years. So she said the next step was outside of London. So that was the main reason. But I'd always wanted to, experience something outside. And after working the Artisan, obviously the CV is looking pretty good. So it was probably the best opportunity to get something because, as you know as well, it's not easy getting a job outside of Europe. So no, it was always something I wanted to experience, and I kind of underestimated Bangkok, I think, because the culture is completely different. But once you get used to it, embrace it, and it's an amazing place to live. So
when you moved to Bangkok, you went straight into the Mandarin Oriental, have you?
Yeah.
So at this stage, how old is Bamboo Bar?
Bamboo Bar is 66 years old.
Okay.
But I think it's gone through a lot of, stages as a bar. It's always been a jazz bar. It's gone through its early years where it's, legends of jazz came to visit. And then it went into sort of let's say a shiny hotel bar, sort of normal hotel bar feel. And then about 5 years ago, it got renovated to make it look like how it was back in the day, which is, it was a fantastic renovation. It looks amazing now. And it's one of those places where you enter and you feel like you're in a completely different place. It takes you away like in a different era almost.
When you joined there, basically, effectively, the bar was open for 2 years after the refurbishment. Yes. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Who was running it before you joined?
There was a guy called Mirko who done a fantastic job. My staff who I have now, he taught them, the real, let's say, foundations as well of modern bartending. So I have him to thank a lot. And so he ran it for about 2 years. brought some sort of modern bartending to the Bamboo Bar, as well as the service side as well. And then when he left, they hired me. So I already had a ready-made team who was really strong. It was fantastic floor staff as well. So
what were some of the market challenges that you had when you moved to Bangkok?
It was finding. Well, first of all, it was finding ingredients, but it shows how I sort of was a bit naive and thought everyone around the world wanted the same sort of cocktail. So I obviously had my ideas from London and I tried to bring them to Bangkok, and it was successful. But one, it's not ideal because you can't get these things easily, and two, the people are they're not really used to these sort of ingredients. They want local stuff. So that's why I think the second menu is easier to present and a lot more successful in terms of people liking the cocktails as well. The tourists want to try local ingredients, and the local people, they only like their stuff because it's the food and stuff is one of the best in the world. So the second menu is a real success.
Did you find it difficult to adapt yourself to local flavors and local palates?
Yes and no. I mean, I embraced it. I went out with the guys for the food. There was a lot of tears, me trying to eat the local food, how spicy.
It's mega spicy, is it?
Incredible. I remember having a soup and literally sitting there crying. But it's so good, you want more and more.
Yeah, it's mega tasty, but it's just so painful to swallow. My
staff, they were laughing. It was incredible. But no, I'm definitely adapted to it. Now I go back home and friends are complaining stuff is spicy, and I hardly notice it's got any spice in it at all now, So yeah, it took some time, the culture, the food and the local flavors, but it's quite, it has a theory behind it. If you actually see how they use the flavors and even the food, they balance everything out, salt, sugar, everything's like, you can see it actually, you slowly understand. And then once you understand, it's pretty easy to adapt and use in your cocktails and stuff.
Do you miss London a little bit, or
no?
No, 0%.
0%. I've been there. I've only been there a handful of times since I left, and I think Bangkok is a little bit more chilled out. It's got a little bit of craziness, obviously with the traffic and everything, but London is so fast paced, and no, I can't say I miss it too much. Obviously, friends there, but that's it. I only miss the friends, so. Go there, see everyone, and then go back to Ipswich to have a little bit of a more chilled out time in England. So no, I can't say I miss it too much.
So I had the chance to work in a jazz bar as well, which is the American bar. And at the American bar, we had two pianists, right? Mm-hmm. And they were both been working there for like almost 10 years each. The music there is such an integral part of the bar. It's the same thing for you.
Completely.
And how do you go about choosing who plays there?
I haven't had that choice yet because I think the saxophonist and the piano player, they've been there 15 to 20, more than 20, I think. Actually.
Okay.
And even the drums and the bass, they've been there, longer than I've been there. So I haven't had the challenge of picking band members, but anyway, the original ones they're very good. They got friends and whatever, so they know people. So if it gets to that, then it's okay. But we change the singer every 4 months.
Okay, and how do you go about that?
The bands they recommend. It's difficult, because you get given a YouTube video. Anyone, I can sound good on a YouTube video, but
can you?
Yeah. I'm not sure. Depends about the band. No. But now we've got a set of 4 or 5 really, really good singers. So we kind of just rotate them now. So it's good. But again, some of them have been playing. Cynthia's been playing there, over 20 years as well. And it's funny because you get these returning guests and they don't care about my cocktails. They're just there for the band. No, it's really, really a massive part of the Bamboo Bar. People are definitely coming for the band. So our job is just to, have a nice high standards beverage concept to sort of relate to it and match it in terms of quality. So I think we've done that, and that's why it's a recipe for success.
Right?
Yeah.
You mentioned earlier on community and the fact that you wanted to go into Bangkok in order to make a mark into the local scene.
Mm-hmm.
How is this scene evolved since you're there?
Yeah, it's incredible. I mean, it was already evolving before I arrived, but you can really see how it's moved from. I think you could see bits when I first arrived. The city itself, they didn't have too many international bartenders coming over. Brands were not doing too much, so you get these bartenders who are learning off YouTube and stuff like this. So you could see it was very dated, but definitely now you can see here as well the amount of bartenders traveling over to Singapore. The bartenders there, they're traveling a lot more, so they're seeing different bars. They're being inspired as well, which brings everything. It's involved Bangkok bar scene a lot. It's helped a lot. So yeah, coupled with international bartenders coming through, showing their skills, showing their cocktails, it's really improved things. So yeah, it's a great city, some great bars, and I think we were number 3 in terms of amount of bars in Asia. Obviously Hong Kong and Singapore, and then China, Singapore, and Thailand. So it was 7 bars. So
that's remarkable.
Yeah, it's amazing. So yeah, when we first arrived, I think it was 5 bars. Last year was 6, and now 7. So slowly, more and more bars in the top 50. So you can see the improvement.
So you've basically came on the other end of the planet to do your job. As an expat in Thailand, did you feel that the community was quite welcoming towards you, or maybe you struggled a little bit to relate yourself?
I think they're just cautious at first.
Yeah,
I would say cautious, but I think I'm, approachable guy. I try and get, even, you just gotta respect the country, the culture, and everything. And yeah, when you show them respect, you get it back. And I definitely feel that's the case now. It was just the day before we arrived here. Actually, I was at a Thai wedding, and I looked around and I said to Anne, I was like, I'm the only foreigner here. And she was like, yeah, because you show yourself, you attach yourself to us. So they like you as well, so I think if you get involved and you don't make it seem like you're, from the other side of the planet, you just get involved with the events and stuff, they warm to you, definitely. So I definitely feel part of the community, that's for sure.
That's a fantastic thing. There's a lot happening in Thailand at the moment. You guys just said you have your own bar awards.
Yeah, we've got the bar awards, which is going around Asia. We're in June. We're having our first Bangkok bar show, which I'm going to be a part of, which is great. So yeah, we're trying to do more and more. We've got the Rum Week as well. Trying to do more and more because I think everyone likes a trip to Thailand. So if we get more of these events, get people involved, and it's very easy to get people over because, like I said, everyone wants to visit. And it's a great opportunity for them to see what we're doing there as well with the bars we've got there. So,
how do you see Thailand evolving at the moment in terms of bars?
I think now it's a case of having the consumers catch up a little bit. Maybe the level, the speeds that we've evolved as a bar industry. Maybe it's, outweighing consumers sort of being educated, and there's no point us going super crazy and having crazy drinks when the consumers don't understand, so I think Thailand is slowly being educated in cocktails, and because you're talking about a country which, however you grow up, whether you're rich, poor, whatever, you eat and drink on the streets, it's normal. Street food, beers, whatever. So for now to tell them go to a nice bar and have a nice cocktail, it's still, reaching that point where it's acceptable, especially in hotel bars anyway. So I think it's just, needs to be more natural for people to go out to cocktail bars. But definitely, you see Tong Law area, it's the young generation coming through. It's a lot of young people coming and drinking cocktails. So it will get there. But I think it's just a case of waiting for consumers to catch up.
You work mostly with expats or locals?
Well, it depends what area. Tong Law is a lot of locals. Us is about 50-50. But, you expect that in a hotel bar. And again, when you look at the expats or the tourists, let's say, again, you can split those into groups as well. You have the people who are maybe stopping off to go then to a luxury beach somewhere down south or whatever, or you have the backpackers, which they're still the ones drinking the beer on the streets and stuff like this. They're not going to go to a hotel bar. So yeah, it's very diverse in terms of consumers, but it makes it challenging to then, for our menu, for example, to try and find which consumer group is normally coming. So like I said, it's about 50-50 for us. So this is why the Compass menu is working so well.
Talk to us a little bit about the Quadboss menu.
So the Compass menu, the first menu we done, it was a lot of, let's say, London flavors or that sort of style. Some strange things in there, like whiskey sous vide with the mushrooms and stuff like that, which the local market did not understand. So that was quite a cool menu. It was based on the jazz, people who'd come through the Bamboo Bar, which was cool. But this new menu, what we've done, we've split Thailand up into 5 different regions, and we've got 2 cocktails, 1 mocktail for each region. Each cocktail has a little story, inspiration from that region, whether it be the food, whether it be, generally what goes on, the agriculture or something like this, or even some personal stories. We've got 1 cocktail from the central region which talks about Alateen, for example. So, no, it's really good. Like I said, it's a way for the tourists to travel around Thailand in terms of drinks. And for locals, it's a nice memory trigger because you've got a lot of people who work in Bangkok. They're not actually from Bangkok itself. They're from, the north or south or whatever. So, for us to talk about their region, it's nice, they can relate to it. So it's very successful, I'd say.
How do you approach the creative process with your team? Is it like, is the idea coming from you, or is it more of a...
Well, definitely for this menu, as you can imagine, I needed their help a lot. Mm-hmm. I get a lot of ideas. It's funny, we start off with maybe a recipe, which, for example, we come here with London Essence and I create drinks for them, and then maybe one drink stands out and I think, we could use that maybe on a new menu. So you start off with a recipe, or, even 1 or 2 cocktails started off with a glassware. We had to get these, the parrot glassware, right? We actually were very privileged to do the princess's birthday party, and she wanted this. Well, it was a jungle theme, tropical theme, so we got this glassware for her. So then we had a bunch of these glassware afterwards. So we were like, okay, let's do something around that. Or obviously you have the story, so then you build the cocktail around the story. So definitely there's we get the guys involved. It's very important, whether it be actually creating it or definitely having their opinion. A great believer of, I think some bars, that's what they miss out. Maybe the creator of a drink, they make it to their taste. I think with this, especially the last menu, my staff was sick of me. Just like, I'd get behind the bar, make a drink, and then I'd get everyone to the back to try it, and I want their opinion. It was quite difficult at first because, they don't want to tell the boss it doesn't taste good. But then I could kind of see on their face, like I could see when a drink was good because they really, nod their head and be like, yeah, it's good. And then others will be like, yes, it's good. And then like, no, come on, tell me. Okay, a little bit too sweet. I'm like, okay, no problem. So once they got closer to me, it's, they definitely, voice their opinions. So yeah, no, I get everyone involved for sure.
How long did it take you to develop this sort of trust? Because here in Asia, like one of the main challenges that I find is to develop this sort of relationship, sort of like one-to-one with your team, where they understand that you're also a human being and therefore your opinion counts as much as their opinion, so they can voice it out with you.
I think it was quicker than I think most people would expect, because like I told you, in the Artisan I was a waiter, right? So when I came here, Bangkok, as a manager, I still had the mindset of a waiter. So I'd start picking up trays, clearing tables, and in the back cleaning glasses, and they couldn't believe it. They were like, what are you doing? What are you doing? I was like, it's normal for me, And so I gained their respect quite quickly in terms of that, not being scared to muck in and do the dirty work as well. But yeah, it takes time. But like I said, we go out after work as well, and they see you're a human being. I take them on trips like this, and they see the real me. So not the big boss kind of feeling. So no, it took about 6 months to a year. Now it's like a family.
That's fantastic to hear. Do you think you'll ever open your own bar in the future, or that's something that you don't necessarily see?
I think I'm a little bit more cautious. I think I've still got a lot to learn. And I am definitely now, my position at Mandarin, getting involved a lot more on the business side. And definitely in the future, we'll be doing some projects that open up the new hotels, which are coming up. As you know, there's definitely things which I need to learn. If I do, I think, to be honest, it will be in Ipswich, my hometown. Because there I know there'll be no pressure of these awards or anything like this. And again, I can give something back to the community, which I know that they're missing. So I think when I'm done with all this awards and stuff like this, I'll just open one up in Ipswich and live a happy life, as you say. But yeah, we'll see. I don't know. But at the moment, I'm super happy.
It's crazy to think that you say that give something back to the community, to a place that is literally like within an hour from like the biggest cocktail.
Yeah, I
in the
know,
world.
definitely. But trust me, there's nothing there in terms of good bars. So every time I go back, I just drink beer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's it. That's the safe bet.
Yeah, exactly.
Would you have seen yourself here 10 years ago?
No, I would have laughed at you if you said it. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think every step I've taken, even to London, even 6 months prior to going to London, I would have said, no way. Definitely after leaving Artisan, if you told me I'd end up in Bangkok, I'd be like, are you crazy? So, yeah, it's weird how it works out, but yeah, just embrace it. And I don't know what the next step is. That's why, interviews and stuff like this, and they ask you what you're going to do in 5 years' time.
Yeah, who knows, right?
I tell them,
Such a
who
deep
knows.
question,
Definitely.
But surely you must have been a bit concerned when you were sitting in Ipswich without a job.
Yes and no. Like Alex and Simone, they promised that help, and they did, but I kind of wanted to do everything myself on my own way. But no, there was definitely offers. It was just finding the right one for me. Didn't want to be too hasty, and I mean, my father wasn't happy with it, but I was living at home rent free, so there was no pressure.
No pressure, at least from your side.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I just wanted to find the right thing for me. But definitely want to stay in hotels. I think that's all I know. Some people doesn't like it, but I think for me, it's an environment which I'm comfortable in.
Yeah, and also probably 10, 15 years ago, as a bartender, your ultimate goal was to own your own bar. But I think things have changed so much that, you can have an extremely viable career path just staying within a hotel group.
Definitely. And as you know, the Mandarin Oriental, they like to, find talent and really push that talent forward. And that's definitely what they're doing with me. So right now I'm super happy and very, very excited about the future within the group. So at the moment, opening my own bar is definitely not on the agenda.
Cool. Last question I asked to everyone. If you were to have a very last drink, what would that drink be?
Oh, good question. Can I say beer or does it?
Yeah, you can say anything.
Birretta.
Birretina.
Yeah, people who know me, I drink a lot of beer and not really cocktails, but no, definitely maybe a beer. Yeah, I would probably say beer.
Yeah, what beer?
Wheat beer. I like wheat beer.
Yeah, wheat beer?
Yeah, Alex will tell you. Alex, I was the only one in the Artisan who drank wheat beer. Not even guests, they used to buy the stock for me. And if Alex needed me to bribe me into doing something, it would be wheat beer.
It's such a weird style of beer, I think.
Yeah, no.
I mean, I can have it, but...
There was a funny story with that. Do you remember the panda thing?
I never... What was the panda about?
We had a cocktail called Super Panda, I think, no? Super Panda, I think it was called that.
Yeah, but you guys really stuck
to
this.
The guy in the suit was me, and because they got this massive suit, and they were going to put Rudy in it, but Rudy was too small, so they're like, we can't go in it because we have to present. So they came to me, he's like, if we feed you some mezcal and some wheat beer, would you go? I was like, I'm going to have to be drunk. So that's how that came about. Literally, with a tube. Going into the panda, filling it with beer, it was hilarious.
How hot was it?
Oh, incredible!
It must have been the sweatiest.
And I couldn't see. Roman was holding my hands. I couldn't walk. Incredible.
So you basically were standing there, you had no clue of where you were in space and time.
Absolutely drunk. And they said, okay, Jamie, do you need the toilet before you put the suit on? No, I'm okay. 5 minutes later, before we're about to go on, I'm like, guys, I'm bursting now. Jump out of the suit.
They actually removed you from the suit?
Yeah, had to. Yeah.
So how long was this thing? How long you had to stand?
I can't remember, but I couldn't see out of the eyes, and I was drunk, and I don't know what was happening. It was, it was funny.
Is there a video of that somewhere?
I think so, yeah. On YouTube, if you look it up, that's me in a suit.
Good. Thank you very much, Jay. It was awesome.
Thank you so
talking to
much. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
We hope you enjoyed our interview with Jamie. We are Unjiggered_media on Instagram, and you can follow our personal accounts at mmariotti89 for McKilly, Alex J. Murphy for myself, and Adrian Besser for Adrian. Thank you for listening.